My name is Sam. I'm 22 years old, and I work part-time at a convenience store. My life began to change significantly after I helped a family on a cold winter night. I want to share that story with you. That day was especially cold, and it was snowing heavily outside the store. Boss, it's snowing outside.
Really? No wonder we don't have any customers.
That night was reported to be the coldest of the winter on the news. Inside the store, it was just me and my boss, and we hadn't had any customers for hours.
I'll take care of closing up so you can go home. Your dad must be worried.
Really? Thank you.
Sorry, but can you take out the trash before you leave?
Got it. This man is my boss and my uncle, my dad's younger brother. So, I work part-time at my uncle's convenience store. Before working here, I had different dreams, but due to circumstances, I had to give them up. It was my uncle who invited me to work at his store. He's cheerful and kind, an ideal boss, and I'm satisfied with my current job. However, I always felt a bit unsettled. As I stood in front of the trash can, shivering and stopping in my tracks, snow was piling up on my body. Just as I was about to start working, I heard a rustling sound from somewhere. Could it be a cat? I casually peeked at the side of the building. There, between the building and the fence, were two women who looked like a mother and a young girl, sitting with newspapers wrapped around their bodies.
I'm sorry. We have nowhere else to go, and I thought we could at least avoid the wind here.
In this snow? How long have you been here?
About an hour. I'm sorry. We'll move right away. Can you stand, Amy? Let's go, okay? I'm sorry, Mom.
The mother was rubbing the girl's body to keep her warm, but the girl's face was pale, and her lips were turning purple, looking too weak to speak. Seeing the girl's condition, I snapped back to reality. Just come inside quickly.
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
My uncle hurriedly looked back and forth between my face and the two wrapped in newspapers, with wide eyes. These people were shivering behind the store. In this snow.
Bring chairs from the back.
Yes. I brought chairs and had them sit down, and my uncle handed them 2 bottles of hot tea from the hot drink shelf.
Here, drink this to warm up.
But I don't have any money right now.
Don't worry about it. Look, your daughter is shivering. Take this warm drink.
The girl pressed the bottle to her cheek, looking relieved.
Thank you.
While they were drinking, I brought blankets from the store's break room and my own coat. Here, please use this if you like.
I'm sorry for all the trouble.
Don't worry about it. You'll catch a cold like this.
Thank you.
The store was heated, and after a while, both of them regained some color in their faces.
So, what happened? You don't have any bags, and your clothes are too thin for this weather. You weren't just out for a walk, right?
My uncle asked gently, and the mother looked troubled.
We had to leave the house for some reason. In a rush. I left my wallet and phone behind.
I see. We can lend you a phone. Do you want to call your husband?
No, my husband passed away.
My uncle and I exchanged glances. It seemed like there was a complicated story, but she didn't want to go into details, maybe because of the child.
Mom, can we go home now?
The girl asked, and the mother looked pained.
I'm sorry. We can't go home for a while. Then where will we go? I'm hungry, Mom.
The girl sadly rubbed her stomach.
For now, why don't you stay at my place tonight?
My uncle's suggestion surprised me.
But
we can't just leave you out in this cold weather. I live with my wife and our dog, so we can figure out a place for you both to sleep.
You have a dog?
Yes, it's a big dog, but very gentle.
Thank you for the offer, but my daughter has a severe dog allergy.
Oh, I see. In that case, we can't take you in.
My uncle thought for a moment and then said something unexpected.
Then Sam, why don't you take them to your place?
My place?
You live with your dad, right? You have extra rooms. This is my nephew, and I can vouch for him. He's a good guy and won't do anything weird.
My uncle smiled as if the matter was settled.
Are you sure?
Since I had already gotten involved, I couldn't just leave them. All right, You can't go anywhere in this weather, so please come to my place for tonight.
Thank you so much.
So I ended up taking the two of them to my house, which was within walking distance from the store.
Welcome back. The weather must be terrible outside. Oh, who are these guests?
Good evening. I'm sorry for the sudden visit.
I explained the situation to my dad at the entrance.
Oh, that sounds tough. Please come in and warm up. I'll get the bath ready for you.
Are you sure we can use the bath?
I know it might feel strange in someone else's house, but the bathroom has a lock, so you can relax. Please warm up, you don't want to catch a cold.
Thank you, big brother. Mom, isn't it nice to be able to take a bath? Thank you so much for everything.
When the mother and daughter came out of the bath, the mother's face looked a bit more relaxed.
The bath really warmed us up. Thank you. Sorry for the late introduction. I'm May, and this is my daughter, Amy.
I'm Sam. I live here with my dad, so please make yourselves comfortable. It's rare for us to have guests, so you're very welcome. I'll make dinner.
I'll help.
No, you're guests. Please relax.
Amy, do you want to play a board game with this, Grandpa?
What's a board game?
As I heard Amy's cheerful voice in the background, I opened the fridge and thought about what to cook. They must be hungry, so something quick, warm, and kid-friendly. All right, I have chicken, so I'll make cream stew. I also have eggs, so I can make a vegetable omelet. And I'll add some consomme soup and salad. Usually, since it's just my dad and me, I don't make elaborate meals. But knowing I was cooking for others gave me extra motivation. I quickly prepared the meal and called everyone to the table.
It looks like a restaurant. Did you really make all this in such a short time?
Yes, but it's all simple dishes. Let's eat while it's warm.
This is delicious. It's different from what we usually have at home. Amy loves this egg dish. You can eat the broccoli in this? Yes, it's tasty, Mom.
Seeing Amy eagerly eating made me smile. May also seemed genuinely pleased with the food, which made me feel proud.
My son has always loved cooking. Before I got sick, he dreamed of becoming a chef.
Dad, that's...
What's a chef?
Before I could stop him, Amy asked curiously.
You know how there are people who cook at restaurants? That's a chef.
Is he a chef?
No, I don't work at a restaurant, so I'm not a chef.
Why not? It's so delicious.
Well,
Amy's right. This really tastes like it was made by a professional. I'm not very good at cooking. Amy, try this, it's also delicious.
May seemed to sense something and gently changed the subject. Yes, my dream was to become a chef, until that accident happened.
Oh, it looks like she fell asleep after getting full.
May's voice snapped me back to attention. I realized the meal was almost finished, and the sleeping child's face is truly adorable. As I looked at my dad, he had a gentle gaze directed at Amy, like a grandfather looking at his grandchild.
Get the guest beddings ready for them. I'll be heading out.
I'll prepare them right away. Thank you. After laying Amy down on the bed, May returned to the kitchen.
Please let me do this.
It's okay. I'll be done in a minute.
No, you let us stay and even fed us a delicious meal. So please let me do this much.
All right then, let's do it together. May smiled and started washing the dishes. When I first saw her, she looked pale and anxious, but now I noticed she had striking features and was quite beautiful. She seemed a bit older than me, but had a calming presence. If you don't mind sharing, could you tell me what happened? Maybe I can help. May was silent for a moment before she began to speak slowly.
2 months ago, my husband suddenly passed away from a heart attack. It was so sudden that I was mostly worried about how to explain it to my daughter.
That must have been very hard.
Of course, it was sad, but the real trouble started afterward. My husband ran a company, but it seems the business was in bad shape. After his death, the company went bankrupt with a lot of debt. On top of that, he had borrowed money from some shady lenders, and I didn't know anything about it since I was a stay-at-home mom. Eventually, scary people started calling for the money, and yesterday, they came to our house. A man barged in and started rummaging through my husband's things. I was terrified, thinking about what could happen to my daughter, so we ran out without taking anything.
That's why you were dressed like that. You couldn't go back home, fearing they might be waiting. It must have been terrifying. Let's go to the police tomorrow. Regardless of the reason, it's trespassing, and I'll go with you. I can't just send you back home like this.
I was really scared. Thank you so much.
May looked genuinely relieved, and her expression made my heart skip a beat. The next day, we left Amy at home and went to the nearest police station to explain the situation. An officer came with us to check the house. Nothing seemed to be stolen, so the police could only promise to increase patrols.
Thank you so much for doing so much for us.
Do you think you can stay here from now on?
I think so, but I'm still worried.
May looked clearly anxious, trying to be brave. If you and Amy are okay with it, you can stay at our place for a while.
But I can't impose on you that much.
We're not wealthy, but we have space. My dad was smitten with Amy, so I'm sure he'll agree.
Why are you being so kind to us?
Well, I can't just ignore someone in trouble. And yesterday, I was happy. Seeing you both enjoy my cooking made the dinner table lively again. I want to make food that naturally brings smiles to people's faces.
You mentioned you wanted to be a chef.
I went to culinary school and had a job lined up after graduation. But just before graduating, I got into a car accident. I was fine, but my dad, who was in the passenger seat, injured his leg. As you saw, he still limps and needs a cane. The accident was caused by the other driver falling asleep at the wheel. The police and insurance said it was 100% the other driver's fault, but I can't help thinking that if I had noticed sooner, it might not have happened. Everyone tells me not to worry, but working in a restaurant means late hours, and I worry about leaving my dad alone. So now, I work at my uncle's convenience store. May listened quietly, nodding. Life can be so unfair sometimes. Anyway, I can't leave you and Amy after everything you've been through.
You're really kind.
No, not really.
You are. Most people wouldn't do this for strangers. Thank you for your kindness. We'll stay for a few days then. I'll help with the housework and take care of your dad.
All right, let's go back home. For some reason, I found it easy to talk to May about the accident, something I hadn't shared with anyone else. And talking about it made me feel a bit lighter. We returned home with a few days' worth of belongings, and I explained the situation to my dad.
Of course, stay as long as you need.
Thank you very much. Amy, we'll be living here for a while, so listen to Sam and his dad, okay? Grandpa, let's continue playing.
All right, all right.
My dad seemed to have bonded with Amy. It's been a while since I've seen Dad so happy. We exchanged smiles. Our unusual cohabitation continued for about a month. May took care of most of the housework, which helped me a lot. With my dad as her playmate, Amy seemed to enjoy her time, and May gradually became more cheerful. I researched legal matters during my breaks at work, hoping to help May. May also consulted with a lawyer at a free legal service, and we would exchange information over tea. Of course, we also had plenty of unrelated chats. May, have you always lived around here?
Yes, this is my hometown. I went to the nearest elementary school from here.
Really? Me too. No way, Sam. How old are you? I'm 22.
I'm 26, so that means we went to the same elementary school.
Wow, we might have passed each other on these streets. Indeed, these casual conversations had become something I look forward to. As I continued my research, I found out that when a spouse dies, the wife is not obligated to repay the debts. We handed the dealings with the company over to a lawyer, and once the paperwork was completed, May was no longer pursued for the debts.
Thank you so much. I don't know how to express my gratitude.
I'm glad. Now you can return to your normal life. I'm really relieved. We will be lonely here without the both of you though.
The same goes to us, Sam.
Even though it was less than a month, it must have felt like a lively household had returned for my father, who had lost his wife early.
We are leaving? Both of us, Mom? Yes, Amy. We will go home tomorrow. I like it here. I don't want to go back. I want to stay with Sam and Grandpa.
Amy had completely settled into our home, and the thought of May and Amy leaving made me feel incredibly lonely. Every night, I thought about what to cook, prepared it, watched them enjoy it, and then chatted with May over tea. It had become a routine. Amy, come over for dinner again. I'll make anything you like.
Really? Anything?
Yes.
Then please make a super cute omelet rice.
Super what? A super cute omelet rice.
Yes. Make something cute on top of the omelet, okay?
Okay, I'll look it up.
Sorry for the trouble, Sam. Amy and I have been watching a cooking cartoon show recently. If you can't think of anything, I'll be more than happy to show it to you.
That's nice, mate. By the way, Sam, I have something to tell you.
Me? My dad spoke seriously.
Would you consider becoming a chef again?
His serious tone left me puzzled. We've talked about this many times. As a newbie, I'd be stuck in the kitchen from morning till night, so working at a restaurant is impossible.
That's because of me. I'm used to my leg now and can manage around the house. A helper for a few hours a day is enough. And since May and Amy came, you looked so alive when you were cooking.
I'm an outsider, but I have to say, your cooking is truly delicious. It's simple and homely, yet so different from what I make. It feels like a professional's touch. I've never been so moved by any restaurant's food.
As May spoke, Amy seemed to realize we were talking about my cooking and suddenly shouted,
I love Sam's cooking. It's all delicious. Please become a chef. Sam,
even Amy,
if you become a chef, I'll help serve the food like the super cute omelet rice.
that sounds fun. My eyes welled up. Seeing someone happy and smiling because of my cooking was such a joy. I had felt this many times since May and Amy came. I had pursued cooking to see such smiles, but somewhere along the way, I had forgotten that. Thank you. I'll give it another try. I'll start studying cooking from scratch. As I said that, the three of them cheered. That night's dinner tasted better than ever. There was just one thing that concerned me. If I quit my part-time job at the convenience store, it might trouble my uncle.
Then how about May taking over your job?
May?
She's a single mom now, right? It must be tough taking care of Amy. Here, she can keep an eye on her.
That's a bold idea, but it makes sense. I quickly contacted May and told her what my uncle planned. May was looking for a job and happily agreed to work.
Great. Now you can focus on becoming a chef.
Yes. Thank you for everything, Uncle. My uncle, just like when he invited me to work, smoothly sent me off. Maybe he knew I hadn't completely given up on my dream. I secured a job at a French restaurant. I was so impressed by the food at that restaurant that I applied for a job there on a whim. And luckily, they were looking for help and hired me. The first day on the job was busier than I had imagined, and it was physically demanding. But I learned a lot, got feedback from the owner on the meals I prepared, and was allowed to stay after hours to practice, which made it worthwhile. I was also relieved to find that the helper I hired for my dad was a great person, so I could trust them to take care of him. Although I had less time to see May and Amy, I occasionally stopped by the convenience store and saw May serving customers with a smile. May is quick to learn and has a bright personality, perfect for customer service. I hope she stays with us, my uncle praised her. May seemed to have regained her natural cheerfulness.
Thank you for introducing me to this job. Your uncle is a great person, and I enjoy the work.
That's good to hear. You seem to be more suited for it than I am.
Your true calling is being a chef. How's work going?
I still have a lot to learn and struggle every day, but it's fun to finally be involved in cooking.
I can tell. You look completely different from before.
Really? May chuckled as I blushed. Seeing her smile warmed my heart, and I realized I loved her smile. How about having dinner at my place this Friday? I'm off work.
That sounds great. Amy and I will come.
I didn't have the courage to ask her out on a one-on-one date yet, but I hope to continue building our relationship. A year after I started working at the restaurant, one evening, I received a call on my phone. Seeing May's name on the screen, I quickly answered. Hello, May. What's up at this hour?
Hello, is this Sam?
It was Amy's voice.
Mom's asleep, so I'm calling secretly.
Well, you can use a smartphone at 5 years old. What's up? Is something wrong?
Tomorrow is Mom's birthday,
Really? I didn't know that.
so I want you to meet Mom.
Why?
Birthdays are for spending time with the person you love the most. That's what I heard from my cartoon show. Mom loves you the most, and you love Mom, right?
Without hesitation, I answered the child's innocent question. I love May and you, Amy.
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
Can you bring your mom to my place for dinner? I'll make a feast.
Leave it to me.
Her confident voice made me laugh. I had an early shift tomorrow, so I would have time to prepare. What should I make? Thinking about a menu that would make them happy kept me awake. The next day, after work, I went shopping and started preparing dinner while waiting for them. Dad was out with the helper. Since the helper started coming to our house, Dad had been in a good mood, and it turned out they had become close. I was happy to hear that from Dad, who hadn't had any romantic stories since Mom passed away. The doorbell rang, and when I opened the door, Amy was beaming, and May looked puzzled.
Sam, we're here.
Welcome. Come on in.
Good evening. Amy insisted we had an appointment with you. Is that true?
Yes, it is. I led them to the dining table. Unlike usual, I had set a white tablecloth, flowers in the center, and arranged the plates and cutlery.
Wow, it looks like a restaurant.
Happy birthday, May. Enjoy the full course meal tonight. I served the dishes I had prepared one after another. Though it wasn't as good as the restaurant, I put extra effort into the taste and presentation. The main dish for adults was braised pork shoulder. For Amy, I made a special omelet rice. Here you go. As soon as I placed the plate, Amy's eyes sparkled.
It's a super cute omelet rice. It even has my favorite rabbit's face and lots of hearts. It's just like in the cartoon. Sam, you're amazing. Like a magician.
She was so excited, she almost jumped.
Wasn't it hard to find out?
My dad showed me the cartoon show, so I tried to recreate it as closely as possible.
It's too cute to eat.
I'll take a picture for you, so make sure to eat a lot. As the meal progressed, I brought out a shortcake for dessert, and May took a satisfied bite.
Everything was really delicious. Sam, your cooking truly makes people happy. Thanks to you, I had the best birthday ever.
Actually, I have one more present for you. I took a small box out of my pocket and handed it to May. When she unwrapped it, she found a ring inside. You might be surprised by this sudden proposal, but I love you, May. I'm still an apprentice, so the ring is cheap, but I promise to become a full-fledged chef and make you and Amy happy. Will you marry me? My voice was probably trembling with nerves. May looked at the ring in astonishment.
It's like a dream that you love me too, Sam. Are you sure about me? I'm older than you, and I have a child.
I want to be a family with you and Amy.
I love you too, Sam. I want to have a happy family with you.
May smiled, hugging the ring. That's great. I turned to Amy. Amy, I love you and your mom very much. I'm not your real dad, but I want us to become a family and live together. Is that okay?
The thing that makes me happiest is seeing Mom smile. When you're around, Mom is always smiling, so I want you to stay with us forever.
May hugged Amy, tears streaming down her face, and I couldn't help but cry too. We decided to get married, and I gently patted May's head as she smiled.
That's wonderful news. Amy, you can come play with Grandpa anytime.
Yes, I love Grandpa.
My dad was overjoyed when we told him about the wedding. 6 months later, when we announced that May was pregnant, he was even happier. We had a baby boy, and Amy adored her little brother.
Babies are so cute. I was this small when I was born too. I grew this big because I ate lots of Dad's cooking.
That's right. keep eating and growing big. A few years later, I finally opened my own restaurant. It's a small, casual French restaurant where families and individuals can feel welcome. Just as I envisioned, it's a place where people can enjoy French cuisine without any pretensions. The clientele includes many families, and the restaurant is always lively. May now helps with customer service. She quit her job at the convenience store, but often comes to eat at my restaurant. Amy, now in elementary school, distributes homemade flyers at school.
Dad, if my friends come, give them a free dessert.
She's quite the little marketer. Amy, now a young girl, can often be seen pretending to cook in her toy kitchen. My dad eventually got married with his helper, and they seemed very happy together. If I hadn't helped May and Amy on that snowy day, I wouldn't have this happiness now. You never know when or where you'll meet your destined person. I want to continue protecting the happiness I found with my family and restaurant. The helper who married my dad has become like a new grandmother to Amy and her brother. It's truly wonderful to have a growing family. My restaurant started with small successes and gradually gained many regular customers. Family and friends visit frequently, and the place is always filled with smiles. Every day is busy but fulfilling, and May and I work together to make the restaurant thrive. One day, a regular customer said,
Sam, your cooking is really delicious, and coming here always warms my heart.
I was deeply grateful for those words and resolved to continue providing delicious food. Both my son and Amy are growing up well without needing our help. Amy joined the cooking club at school, and my son enjoys helping with the cooking. I want to continue running a restaurant that brings many smiles and happiness with my family. I don't know what the future holds, but I want to cherish this path I'm walking with my family. Spending more time with my family has helped me grow and improve my cooking skills. I find joy in creating new menus and planning special events for the restaurant. I'm grateful for meeting May, spending time with Amy and my son, and sharing the happiness of being a family. I want to keep building a wonderful restaurant while watching over my family's smiles.